RFID stands for radio frequency identification. It's a technology that uses miniature computer chips. Some of these are smaller than a grain of sand to track items from a distance. And they're hooked up to little miniature antennas. The combination is called an RFID tag. Now, each of these little chips has a unique identification number that's sort of like a social security number for things. Big companies like Procter & Gamble, Walmart, Gillette, and even our own government, including the State Department, the Department of Homeland Security, and the U.S. Postal Service, would like to put one of these RFID tags on every manufactured item on planet Earth, and they're already putting them into some identity documents like U.S. passports and potentially driver's licenses. RFID radio waves can travel through solid objects like purses, backpacks, wallets, shirts, shoes, and communicate their number to reader devices in the environment. And these reader devices can be hidden in doorways, under floor tiles, and ceiling tiles, and secretly, silently, and invisibly glean this unique RFID number from the objects that people are wearing and carrying. And of course, this number is more than just a number. I mean, it can link to unlimited information in a database about the product from the time it's manufactured to the time it's disposed. It could have the identity of the person carrying the object on it, perhaps even linked to credit information about the person who purchased it. The government already is buying private data on consumers, and many of us don't even know it. And they're mining this data to find patterns and find people of interest. Right now it happens to be terrorists. Of course, tomorrow, who is a person of interest might change. And while they say today they just want to use this in the warehouses to track widgets from point A to point B, we know that they have other plans. My co-author, Kathleen Albrecht, and I found patent applications at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. One of them is by a company, IBM, and it's called Identification and Tracking of Persons Using RFID Tagged Items. IBM talks about the government using this technology to track people in public places with something they call the Person Tracking Unit. And the places they want to track people include airports, train stations, bus stations, libraries, sports arenas, museums, theaters, elevators, and even restrooms. These tags, if they're on all the products, and these scanners, if they're ubiquitous, as is the plan by major corporations, we could have a Big Brother surveillance society.
In Texas, you must have your premises registered. Then you must tag every animal. When I say animal, we're talking about chickens in your backyard. I'm talking about your kids' rabbits that they have for a 4-H project. And they have even gone so far in Texas as to say pet birds. In other words, if you have a pair of parakeets or parrots, then Grandma's going to have a tag and a premise ID for her parrots. And if she doesn't have, she can be fined $1,000 per day for every day that she does not have those animals tagged properly. I've talked to a lot of Texans that think this animal ID thing, oh, it's great. See, we broadcast in Texas. We have radio affiliates in Texas. And until I came on and talked about it, they thought, oh, this was really going to help because it was going to stop the mad cow disease if it came about. They don't realize how much freedom is being lost there. And besides, if you sell an animal, or if an animal dies, you have to let the Department of Agriculture know where that animal is. If it's dead, you have to let them know that it died. There's no way you can do this. There's no way ranchers in Texas know when animals die. We're talking about big country. We're talking about sections of land. A section 640 acres, and it's nothing to have 10, 15, 20 sections of land, particularly in southwest Texas. They don't know when the coyotes kill a calf. They have no idea. It just comes up missing at gathering time. If they can make this animal ID thing work, if they can tag every cow, sheep, pig, chicken, dog, cat, parrot, whatever it happens to be, and they can make people get a premise number, and if they can make people get a tag in those animals, then they're going to be able to make you and I be tagged exactly the same way.